What's up, Just Tribe? Bringing you guys another top 16 video. This time we have Carta. We have Carta Magica's Niagara Falls regional that happened just like 4 days ago or something. A little late on the video, but like I've been busy. You guys know if you guys have been keeping track of everything I do, man. But like, ooh, what a like BT21, right? We go into this and we think it's a pretty open meta. I know we had a France regional also kind of showcase some of the same decks in their top 16. Maybe we'll talk about that at some point. But yeah, just look, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think this is 8 topping decks out of our top 16, with obviously clearly 2 decks taking up 50%. So we got Sakuya and Megidramon coming out as our top 2 decks. Megidramon definitely catches me off guard. I still kind of feel like it's in the realm of red, purple, Imperial of like strength, but like it's kind of like you gotta have it, but they can just do the play a lot earlier and a lot faster than red, purple, Imperial. So maybe that's that's the one thing I'm not considering. They have a lot of draw power, honestly. Like they get to play a lot of trainings, they get to play a lot of boosts, and then just evoing up the line. We see it with Galacticmon, right? Like just evoing up the Galacticmon line draws you a lot of cards, and it's nice. And then like that's it. It's nice being able to Digivolve into GeoX, search 3, Digivolve, draw 1, trash 1, just seeing extra cards, and then that gets you into all of your red, that gets you into all of your Grav Crushes. So yeah, without further ado, I mean, this was a 333 person player event, 9 rounds, best of 3. The live stream was held here by, I think T-Mac was the production, and then A-Vault was a guest commentator. So check out if you want to check out T-Mac and A-Vault. Obviously, we linked the stream right there for you guys on on eggmanevents.com. 9 rounds, May 5th, and then this is the table of this table. I cannot begin to explain to you guys how much I want to cry. Anyway, let's as my cat bellows in the back. Let's just start with the deck list, man. We got Wes on Shine Greymon. I feel like I've said that sentence before, which is funny to me, but no, Shine Greymon did get support, and it's a stronger deck now. And I think looks like in terms of new cards, the only thing we really care about is this new Rise Greymon giving a Marcus letting a Marcus become a Digimon, giving it Rush and Alliance is kind of goated. I mean, just off of the back of like things like this Geo Greymon lets you go Digivolve into a Rise when you play a Marcus, so that's just an innate combo. You just play the Marcus as long as you have this Geo Grey down, or any of these Geo Greys that also give you a Marcus on play. Like you could Digivolve into this Rise Grey after the fact, Marcus Digivolves, and then we're swinging. I don't think you can attack off of this effect. Oh, it may attack, so you can pass turn with this. Ooh, that's kind of goated. Yeah, so and you see it, we are playing 4 of this Rise Grey, and that is it. Everything else is you just straight back into just the Geo Grey and the Rise Grey. None of the new Agumon, which I think I've even said I thought I really liked the new Agumon, but just being able to be on a consistent bottom end with Ukomon's just kind of searched. Any deck that relies on Tamers, I think, is going to have a reason to use Ukomon early, just because, like, I mean, this deck, obviously, like, everyone's always like, oh, Tamers, they don't care about the rookies. They can play Ukomons in infinitum. But the truth is, it's like, it's really any deck that really wants to see an equal, I don't want to say equal parts, but, you know, equal parts Digimon, equal parts Tamers in a good ratio. And this is one of the best ways to do it and get like some Digivolve, some raw Digivolve swing, and you just piece together the hand that you're trying to get to. So I definitely think Ukomon facilitates more than just tamer decks or hybrid decks, right? And that's really clear here, and no need to go into. Clearly, like, I guess also the logic with the none of the new Agumon is like, our goal is to get into Rise. If we're not getting into Rise, swinging, going into Shine Grey, 3 checks, like, what are we actually doing? Nothing. But on top of that, I also thought that there was going to be a direction where we go Ruin Mode Turbo, and like there's a little bit of that. We opened ourselves a little bit up to Ruin Mode Turbo with equally splitting Burst Mode and Ruin Mode. 2 Grav Crush, because every red deck is now speed running. Getting this card onto the ban list is kind of funny. Offense Training, Scramble, Red Mem Boost, just your fun collection of stuff. Scramble's just kind of a good one of in any deck nowadays that digivolves, I feel. But no, congratulations, Wes, 15th place. You went 7-2. And then we get to talk about Leviamon X, Acefin 100. Acefin 100 taking 10th place, also going 7-2. With Leviamon. Leviamon X is still a good card, and they just got a new ace that I feel like you probably were able to clean house with this a couple times. I could only imagine you cleaned house with this a couple times, just because, like, who's expecting an ace in Leviamon? Nobody. Which is just so funny. Or, like, just even being able to hard play this thing, that just we saw it at one point. Because Hunters are also adopting this card. In our live stream Sunday, we saw a Darktramon in Hunters just kind of hard slamming it. Just was always a good option. I think that was a different tournament too. I just, oh man, this past few days have been a blur. But, you know, Wisdom equal split on the Wisdom trainings and Purple Mem Boost, 1 Purple Scramble, because again, every deck should just kind of have it as a one-of, why not? 2 7th Lightnings, 2 Biting Crush is always notable how they split their little Leviathan, like crocodile options. 3-3 split on the 6s, and then everything else is kind of what we've come to see. Deltamon being included is definitely a personal choice that I like, some that gets, you know, seen and not seen sometimes. 2 4 Dober is a mainstay. This rookie lineup tends to be pretty set in stone. Like, it just kind of even up to the Gabu X, this rookie lineup is kind of tried and true. I think maybe the Labramon might be not, like, instead of 2, people do the Tugazi instead, or do a different loop of these 3. I think are probably the ones that change the most, is really what I'm trying to say. But after that, no, it's Leviamon. It's still cooking. It still can do just so much damage to your opponent, especially if any of these decks that are going wide, like, no Hunters topped, but Hunters is going wide. Blue-green Imperial, which is here, goes wide. Sakuya goes wide, and Sakuya plays Digimon, just saying. And also so does Megidra, just saying. So definitely well positioned. I don't know if the field just didn't have a lot of Leviamon in the field, but that being said, it's also just pretty cool. The Darktramon is also just a great Digimon for to play against Megidramon, right? Anyway, congrats, Acevin 100, for your 10th place. We get to talk about Galacticmon, the deck that's on my radar, and I feel like definitely does better than what people are saying. I don't know. Like, this deck, I feel like more people should be on this deck. At least, like, no, I don't want to say it like that, but it's just like this deck, I feel like, is being underrepresented and underplayed, and this deck is gross. I mean, maybe it gets hard stopped by Sakuyamon in particular, which obviously took up 4% of the meta. Also Megidramon, I guess the top 2 decks I would think would have a good matchup into this. It's just once you see Galacticmon Gear's turn, like, they're just playing a level 6 every turn nonstop. It is disgusting. Sorry, I didn't explain. This is top 8. This is also a 7-2, 7th place. Mr. Wares is their screen name, playing playing Galacti. Full on the Sunomon. I know there's conversations about potentially running like the Doraemon to gain memory, but the plus 3k off all turns on the Sunomon I think is just too invaluable, especially since you should be able to like tuck it underneath and get multiples and sit at like a 20k just impregnable wall. But after that, I think I think the deck is kind of like easy. Like, in terms of ratios, I really don't think ratios matter too much. Some things I'm noticing that are interesting is we're not maxing out on Destros. We go 6-6, 3-3 for a total of 6. We favor the Snatchmon. The Digicross Snatchmon is the most important one. Having a one-of the blocker Snatchmon instead of just maxing out on the BT21 one is also curious to me. I mean, gaining the blocker and the unsuspend is definitely how we facilitated the OTK, but like there is just like, I guess like you're gonna see it when you go through your deck as much as the Galacticmon does, but it just brings into question like what is better from these two. It's hard to say. And then Venmon, this is kind of what I've been seeing. 20 Venmon, maxing out on the 2 you can max out on, and then just filling the rest of your, just getting 12 of this Venmon out. I think that's about the ratio I've seen correctly used. I think sometimes I see 16, so we cut down to 8 of these Venmon, but for the most part, this is about right. And then like a curious, just 3-3, just basically 3-3-3 of everything except like these two, right? Like, it's curious. I mean, I get it. There's the only thing that I kind of like side eye is like, don't we want more of this Snatchmon to facilitate like single stack OTK? But usually you don't need to go for the OTK in those games where like, I feel like most games like for Galacti, like they could OTK you, or they could just extend another turn and win the next turn with a rookie. So like, I get it. I get it. I don't know. Congrats, Mr. Wares. I didn't say your name at the start, and I said it in the middle, and I'm sorry. So I'm going to say it again. Congrats, Mr. Wares. And then we get to talk about 2 different Royal Knights players. This is 16th place, still in 7-2 range. This is Drakar 3C, right? And we're playing a collection of Floodgates. You're playing the nerfed Black Memory Setter, which is funny. I wonder why we chose, like, this is probably just like, this player just probably said to themselves, like, I'm just going to play my favorite version of every Floodgate, and that's it. Because, like, I think if we could play all the green ones, like, because there's a reason to play all the green ones, right? Because we are on this Leopard one, so we should, like, this, in theory, should be the Terriermon. Or if it has to be black for some reason, you would do the, oh my goodness, you would do, what's it called? The Zenimon, because he has an extra 1k, which probably doesn't come up, but like, you know? And, oh wait, the Jesmon token. Yeah, red-black decoy. So, I mean, in theory, like, this should have just been the Gossmon, right? Because then I mean, it all depends, like, do you want to make them blocker, right? Because there's a reason for them to be green, but there's also a reason for them to be red-black off of the Jesmon token. So, I don't know. That's curious. I don't know why I went on that tangent, Drekar, but, like, I don't know. Fun conversation. I assume you just picked your favorite version of each of these Floodgates and called it a day. It's not that deep. But it's just curious. It's just, you know, it's fun to see where the deck could go. Mekamon, Royal Knights. Anyway, Royal Knights is a deck that was very strong in the previous format. Like, we didn't get too many events in the previous format, funny enough, but like in Eagle's Nest and everywhere, Royal Knights was just everywhere. It was crazy. Especially post ban list, Royal Knights was cooking. And just looking to see what our collection of Royal Knights, the biggest include will now be this Gallantmon promo. The promo Gallant requiring either a 13k body to be on board is always going to be interesting here, especially off of the secret rare Gallant. You can play secret rare Gallant, swing, then play this Gallant and pop your own Gallant, swing if memory allows, right? In theory you could play this off of, you could play this one off of Purge, swing, Gallant, play this Gallant, swing, go for game somehow. The Genkumon is also really good for that 13k, and that it really does make you rethink what your 13k bodies are looking like, and it's mostly Genku, right? Genku brings something out, then you get to play this Gallant for for free, and then I mean, you know, it just goes from the races from there. After that, pretty standard. I think like the level 7 aces are becoming more of like a smorgasbord, right? Like the actual like counter aceable ones, like it's these 3 that you can actually blast Digivolve with them. This one you can't do it in the deck because you need Oryumon, sorry. After that, 4 of both of our Omnis, 4 Last Guardian, 4 Royal Purge, 4 Cool Boy. Interestingly, we are on the Craniumon. Digimon with blocker can't be deleted. That could probably come up in a world where Megidramon starts overperforming. Can he be DP reduced? He can. Interesting. Oh well. Anyway, Royal Knights. Congrats, Drakar, on top 16. That does, I believe, that does get you your invite. Is top 16 invite still? I think it is. So congrats to you on that. We get to move on to no Floodgates in this one, but Anishiwa's 6th place list going 7-1-1. And the most notable thing here is we actually are playing Queen's Device and War Growl Ace, just to stop Floodgates. You know, a lot of people are playing decks with Floodgates, and we're just trying to keep that in mind. So we're playing Queen's Device, we're playing War Growl. It's interesting cards for either of those situations, especially since War Growl can digitally wide and almost gain all the memory we used back, which can kind of be disgusting. Beyond that, you know, for consolidating technically more aces than the last player, but not having the paladin mode whatsoever. So just sitting on these two. No, we still have the Floodgate Alphamon, Heal Alphamon. Only one Genku where the other player was playing more, probably to help facilitate that promo Gallant. But here we're on just like good old secret rare, tried and true. I think the Googly Eyes one should be here, but whatever. No, I'm joking. Everything else kind of makes sense for the list. 2, 4, 4, and then 2 of like pretty much everything else, because we want to see everything in like an equal fashion. And it all makes sense. So no, congrats, 6th place. That's top 8, so you get even more prizing for that. So congrats to you, Anishiwa, for that. Anishiwa. And then good old Faithful, man. Never Lily. Screen name Lilyamon X Auntie Mommy. Lilith. Oh, sorry, Lilith, not Lilymon. My bad. You people make me say these things. Why? This is not. Dang it. Oh my goodness. Anyway, playing our Floodgates Yakumon, and honestly, I think people are starting to I think either people are starting to wake up again to the existence of the Shiakomons, and needing them. Like just this type of Floodgate, your opponent can't reduce Digivolution cost is just definitely a relevant Floodgate. A lot of trainings in this world right now, a lot of just like evoing effects, like you think Megidra, you think it comes up against Sakuyamon. Digivolution plugin ignores it, however, so Digivolution plugin obviously ignores it, but Scramble reduces, so you can catch people on scrambles and stuff. So it's relevant, and Imperial is still a good deck. This is actually we are teching in a Magna X because we are using the new Leviamon. Leviamon definitely helping our ratio, but we've kind of committed pretty hard to the Leviamon, cutting down on the memory sting, cutting down on jamming XV, I guess, like, because I guess the 1 is usually normal, but then you go, I feel like we even cut a level 5 here, but Leviamon, so we can maybe see the Magnemon X antibody and just be an oppressive wall. 2 Hexblow, because Hexblow is disgusting. Because we're running the Magnemon and the Hexblow, we don't have room for starter deck Imperialdramon, which is unfortunate. Playing 1 Jeni's House for plus 3k on all our Digimon is kind of goated. I think these cards are slowly getting better in people's minds than people think. It's not a free draw. It's for 2 you get to draw, and then you get to just have a DP, an ambient DP gain in your sources. Lets you trade and swing over things you may not have had to before. And then it's secure. This one's security effect does let you play a level 3 from your hand, or from your trash. Okay, so that's interesting. Just hope you don't lose, because like the problem with this one for me is like it goes to your last security, so you just kind of have to hope you don't lose. Jade Memory Boost, Hidden Potential, Return of Primogenitor, Scramble, just like a collection of just being able to play our turn cheaper, and our 2 favorite tamers. It's like 5 tamers has been the mainstay. 2 Davis, 3 Daiken, or 4 Daiken, sorry. But no, congrats, Lilithmon. Oh my god, 9th place, also 7 and 2. But let's talk about 5th place. Where am I? 5th place, we have Shawn. Shawn. It's definitely Shawn. We have Shawn also on Bloom Green Imperial. A lot more stable list, but also again not maxing out on this Stingmon, but it's fine. Collection of rookies is always going to be up to the player. A 5 XV, so I guess it is standard. Going back up to the traditional 7 level 5s, and then Medieval Gallant, disgusting card. 1 Hexablow, 2 starter deck Dragon Mode. Like I said, because we were fitting in 2 Hexblow with a Magnemon X, we just didn't have room for Imperialdramon, but now here it is. Actually playing in Medieval, playing the BT12 fighter mode, which I think just is just a good card, and it's going to come up more and more into this current format. I definitely, especially when we sit on the trap card dragon mode, I definitely see us in a world where Megidra's just getting better, or in a world where Sakuya is getting better. I feel like this trap card plus Imperial fighter mode are just gonna keep getting more and more relevant. Fighter mode Ace, also a great card to reset people. Hidden potential, primogenitor scramble, and then 5 tamers is all. It makes sense. And then Leviamon, I just like that Leviamon is just here now. The thing about this Leviamon, there's like, it does have the reduced evo cost on Vmon and not Wormmon, but it does, this one compared to the other Leviamon I think doesn't get talked about enough. The other Leviamon only evos on green, where this one actually does evo on green blue, which does in theory open up your rookies for some floodgates. Because one of their problems was their Leviamon only digivolving on green. Like, you couldn't like really realistically fit, like right here we're on blue eggs, so we couldn't realistically fit blue floodgates really nicely because Leviamon would get in our way. But that being said, power crep Leviamon there. That being but yeah, no, congrats Shawn on 5th place. You went 7-1-1. And then we get to talk about the one of Red Purple Imperial, played by Duck. 3rd place, 8-1. Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like Red Purple Imperial to me is kind of like the Fenrir Leviamon of a while ago, where like it was a good deck, obviously, but like if you go through tournament results, there was a period of time where Fenrir Leviamon only one would top. Period. Just it. Didn't matter how good everyone felt like the deck was, only one Fenrir Leviamon would top the event. And yeah, I think Red Purple Imperial is just sitting there at that spot. It's a good deck, but going through a whole 9 rounds, like a lot of them get washed out, and we kind of see why. Like, setting up your trash is a lot more particular. You're a lot more particular about how you have to set up your trash than you are Megidra. So if you want to compare this to the other Red Purple deck in the format, like you're kind of having to work a lot harder than what Megidramon's doing. Megidramon just needs to count to 6, and it doesn't really matter what goes to the trash because we get to recycle whatever we want from our trash. Whereas here in this deck, if you don't see Dino Beat in your hand and a level 5, any level 5 in trash, but hopefully more of the utility ones, you're just kind of stuck, which sucks, man. That being said, Dragon Mode Ace, and then the mainstays, the Floodgate, the Dragon Mode. I think this deck also has like a good response to Sakuya potentially. You just have to, like, it just depends on who sees what first. If you can Floodgate Sakuya first, I think you can kind of clap them. But if they see Valderarm first, you get clapped. I really am not sure how to fully make up that matchup. But Calling from Darkness, Demonic Disaster, 3-2 split on memory boosts here, Analog Youth, and that's a wrap. One of these guys for utility, 4 of the big money card here, and then after that, that's about it. No, congrats Duck on 3rd place with Red Purple Imperial. Then now we got to talk about 4 of them. So if I get a little short with you guys, I'm sorry, but we're gonna start with 13th place, Shadow Janine, Megidra, Skull Greymon, the wonderful one of Tech. We actually saw this get played by Nice in Eagle's Nest on Friday, which was really cool. Getting to play 1-2 split on the Galacticmon, the Galacticmon duo, I guess, is what I want to call them now. They're definitely an interesting card dynamic here, definitely going on. Medieval Galacticmon also, I mean, like, you're red. All your level 5 is red, so you can just digivolve into these at any point, which is nice. Unfortunately, this guy's for 5, but whatever. You're trying to play him most of the time anyway. Megidramon at 3 copies is funny. Again, like I was saying at the beginning of the hour, Gravity Crush, we are definitely speed running Gravity Crush to the ban list, because we have seen, even on stream, even on webcam streams, we've seen so many just triple Grav Crush into everything. Like, it was disgusting. Digimon I designed is a nice card to, seems like a nice card to, you know, just turn extend a little bit. It's a little bit of a draw, it's a little bit of a discard, and then you can turn extend after your Megidramon play. Then Purple Memory Boost, Red Scramble. Why Red Scramble? Oh, so you can scramble into these guys. Yeah, okay, yeah. Because it has to go red to red or purple to purple, and you want the option to go this way. Yeah, that makes sense. Wisdom training. Just can't scramble this guy, which I guess that's funny. 4 purple training because we are on purple eggs, but then we still want trainings. Interesting, we didn't choose to just swap these for like red boost. Or yeah, just like red boost. So we could like have more memory on our turn, because memory can be a pretty premium resource when we're talking about hard playing Rush Gyos and Rush Gallants. But whatever, I think it makes sense. It's just another choking piece, right? So I can't like fault it too much. But other than that, we are maxing out on pretty much all the BT21 pieces except for the level 6 itself. And then after that, 3 Rush Gyo, 4 Rush Gyo X, because just so much of our turn and filter is there. Extra War Growl or extra Growlmon because we need it. Just to help us see climb consistently. Growl X is such an important monster, but like you only need to see it once, because oftentimes with the GG, this is the card you're picking back up. Like sometimes you don't pick up the Growlmon X anybody, but most of the time I feel like the main, like there's definitely a tier list of cards you're picking up off of this GG. Growlmon's probably up there, top 2 cards we're picking up with GG, unless we already have it. That being said, let's talk of like congrats one more time, Shadow Gene on 13th place, going 7-2. But then we got to move on to 11th place, and this is Toku. Toku actually playing War Growl X Anybody for the extra security check and being able to delete a 10k and gaining 3k is also really important. Actually, it just depends on how often you see the turn where you can actually go War Growl X, gain 3k, go Megidra, be 16k. How often that's really important. You're seeing a lot of similar ratios for here on the top end, except we're actually on 4 of Growl X. Everything else seems in line. Actually playing 2-1 split here on the Gallants, but no Medieval. Instead, we have good old Crocodile itself. And then 4 boosts, 4 trainings, 3 Digimon designed, 4 Grav Crush, so no Drac Raid, no Scramble, and no off color or secondary color training or boost. So pretty condensed, a little more condensed list, but it still obviously works. It's gonna take us time to see like what the long haul is for this deck in terms of like the option lineup, because that probably seems to me the place that it could see the most room for change and adaptation and player when like a player creativity. I don't want to call it creativity, but player oh man, what is it called? I can't think of it. It's just like when like player preference. That's what we're gonna go with. But next, so congrats, 11th place, also 7-2. Toku, very much more condensed than the last list, but that doesn't mean one way or the other. You just prefer it that way. Now we get to talk about another Megidra list, and I hope this is a different list. Actually, yeah, no, this does seem a little different from. I'm just hoping it's actually different, or maybe they're just playing the same list. That's very possible. Or we posted it at the same list. I hope it's the same list. 2 purple scramble tells me that actually, yeah, no, this is a different list. So just had to make sure. Sorry, live. We do these in one take. Also 8th place, Karn, 7-2. Congrats, you're one of the top of the 7-2s, just squeaking into top 8 into the extra prizing, which is kind of hype. Anyway. Guillaumon, cutting a Gyo X, maxing out Rush Gyo, finding a lot of importance in that, but cutting in our level 4 spots entirely. We cut 1 Growl, and we cut Orin Growl X, and then we cut 1 EX3 Growl, because I think the other lists were on 2 and 4, and then you guys get it. But also making room for Growlmon X Antibody, no Skull Greymon for those awkward I just need to delete something boards. So just going for the extra aggression, extra check potentially, and just being able to pop a 10k, gain 3k, swing at just like a big body. Medieval Gallant is a cool card. And then, we cut one of the promo Gallants to make room for the Medieval compared to other lists in our ratios. Megidramon at 4, Jack Raid 3, 1 Jack Raid, 3 Grav Crush, 1 Calling, 2 Digimon I designed. Only 3 Wisdom to make room for the purple Scrambles, and then purple Mem Boost only at 2 for Analog Youth. Interesting I feel like were the other lists running Analog Youth? This list wasn't, and then this list wasn't. So you're the first one to actually have the full playset of Analog Youth at all in your list in terms of what we're talking about today, Karn. So that's an interesting spot. You guys were all 7 and 2, so it does raise the question of like which does go better in the long run. We do only have one more Megidramon to talk about, and it was our second place Megidramon, which is Enzo 09 or Enzo 9, whatever. I don't really know which way to word that, but Guillemon X at max, Guillemon maxed, only 3 rush, max 2, like I was saying, maxing out the X antibodies. 2 Skull Gray for those awkward deletion turns, I think is kind of amusing actually. Oh, that's so, I think that's kind of cool. Then we have the War Grellet for 2 medieval. Oh, we are going in on the the 3 musketeers, the 3 gallant tiers of just hard playing big bodies. That's very funny. Only 3 Megidra, so that's where some of the space for these came from. No Analog Youth. 4 Wisdom, 1 Digimon I designed. Also, I feel like this is probably the lowest count we've seen of this card in any of these 4 lists. Could mean something. Gravity Crush at 3, Jack Raid 1, Calling. So yeah, that's it. Maxing out on training, Purple Boost, no off colors, but no, this was our second place Megidramon list. 8 and 1. Not bad. Not bad at all. No, congrats, Enzo. I know. I like it. The way I do these videos, I feel like I run out of steam by the time I get to the end, and so like the most acclaimed decks, I'm not really talking about with as much energy. But there is a part of me that's like, well, there's other videos out there that like there are other people that do the top 16s, but they'll only do like the top 4, or they'll only do the best deck of each deck, and so. You guys will give me the fact that like I go through everybody. I do all 16, and these guys, the top 4 other people will definitely give them the praise and the acclaim that like, and the energy that I'm not at this moment. At least that's what, maybe I'm probably thinking too deep. It's not that deep, man. It's just not that deep. We're talking about Sakuyamon X, 4 of them also topped. Going to talk about 14th place, 7 and 2, Kaizen 333 or 333, whichever you prefer. Man, it's Sakuyamon. It's been dominating. It's been dominating, man. It's been all over the place constantly. Valder is an insane card for the OTK, and if we don't OTK, we got Ruin Mode, because Ruin Mode is still just... Floodgates are oppressive, man, and I don't know what else to say. 3 Digivolution plugin. I'm not really going to talk about most of these ratios here. I think a lot of these ratios are kind of becoming mainstay. Like, you need this Renamon, you need this Renamon. Like, I guess it is interesting we're only running 3 of the Memory Gain Renamon, but this is the better searcher, so... Only 2 Renamon X also makes sense to me. And then, like, yeah, no, just 6 level 4s is just something this deck does run. And then, yeah, no, I think the Digimon, we'll go into when we'll talk about it as we see them change through the other list, but I think the Digimon lineup usually is about right. Here, we're actually playing the high-speed plugin, so we can go jamming into security against things like Royal Knights and things that are just end up being bigger than us. Digivolution plugin at 3, 4 Scramble, 4 Training, 2 Memory Boost. So only 2 Memory Boost is interesting. 2 Pause plugin sounds about right, and then just the straight 4 Rikas. She's the best, one of the best cards in the deck. So congrats, 14th place, Kaizen. I think we just need to move on to see what the comparisons are to other Sakuyas is going to be the key thing. And right away, this person, this is Cash Cat, 12th place, also 7 and 2, so performing about the same as the last player, playing one more level 5, and choosing to be on the Wizardmon over the Starmon with Barrier. Kind of an interesting include there. When you do get to draw and gain a memory, so there's a world where you get to digivolve into this Wizardmon without having to use up you could use up a training. The thing about this, yeah, like when digivolving, you can trash the top security, draw 1, and gain a memory. So you get an extra card, you gain a memory, so you can, but it's gain a memory, so you can use a training here, and so to extend your turn. Digivolve for free and gain a memory is something I did in blue base Garu for a long time off the back of the BT5 Garumons when digivolving. That doesn't let me draw a card though. Anyway, maxing out on the Memory Renamon and cutting on the better Searcher Renamon, BT17. Still 2 Renamon X. Everything else kind of lines up to what I was talking about. 1, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Like I said, the Digimons kind of have been solved for the most part, but here, like, we obviously see a little variance in the 4s and the 3s. 3 Digivolution plugin, 4 Scramble, 4 Training, 2 Boost, 2 Pause. Maybe even the options are about the same. Is this list that soft? Let's talk about this Kiarumon a little bit. Oh. Okay, I get it. -2. If this is in our stack, -2. We are functionally a 17k into security, so that gets over everything. Meaning we aren't as reliant on the barrier, so we can more comfortably just sit on being a data at some point, which we're a data at any point other than our level 7s, I believe. I believe so, yeah. This is a vaccine, this is a vaccine, everything else is a data. So we can sit on being a level 6. Maybe we go into Sakuya a little early, leave it there, pass turn with it, don't floodgate, but if they try to delete us, we can do this. Just depends on the matchup in the deck, and then if we have Kiaru, we go in, we'll be 17k. Love that. Love that. And then we get to move on to the next one. This one is, congrats Cash Cat for 12th place, by the way, 7-2. Talked about that already. Now we got 4th place, the D Jangler. Jangler. Yep. Doing the flippy flop with the Renamons again, going 3 here with the memory one, 4 of the Searcher, 2 of the X Antibody, again, standard. Finding still in the same ratio of level 4s as the previous player, but instead of Wizardmon at all, we're going with the Kyubimon that allows us to return it. Like, it's a bimodal, it's a modular card. I don't know what to call it. When these cards give you a choice, there's definitely a word for it in Magic, and I just can't remember what that word is. But, you know, one time, you get to choose. You get the trash and option, draw 2, which is kind of nice, or you get to return any option from the trash, which is also what the Renamon does. And then 2 of the Starmon, because again, barrier, we're not playing that Digibubble that lets us, you know, kind of sneak a 17k body, so we just decide why not use our security as a resource. Actually cutting a Ruin mode to go into 3 Valdararm, so definitely going on a more aggressive game plan, right? We are definitely going, we want to OTK, we don't want the backup plan as often. We want to be able to OTK more often than Floodgate. And then the options are just the same, man, right? Yeah, look at that. 4 Training, 4 Scramble, 3 Digivolution plugin, 2 Yellow Memory Boost, 2 Pause plugin, and 4 Rika. I think I will be surprised if at this point the first place list is any different. But we'll see. Like the D Jangler, congrats on 4th place, going 8-1, a very impressive feat. Congratulations. But yeah, let's go to our grand winner here. Cheech. Like, I guess like Cheech and Chong. Yeah. So Sakuyamon X, 1st place, 9-0, undefeated. A true, it becomes rare nowadays, but a true champion, undefeated, going 9-0 on Sakuyamon. We have some differences. Oh wait, you know what? I think watch the stream. They got an interview with this guy. It is very interesting to see his insights on the deck and how the deck he went about the deck, because there's some key things that are different about this list. I'll talk about them, but please go watch the stream, or if there's a deck list video, I think some of the insights are pretty kind of funny. But yeah, so we got maxing out on the memory Renamon, only 3 of the Searcher, 2 of the X Antibody, 2 of the Starmon, kind of like base, right? Like that, this top 4 cards, we've seen them before. This is where it gets kind of fun. Wizardmon at 4 for protection. Gatomon coming out of security, inheritable barrier, kind of what? And then you ask yourself, there's no Kyubimon. How are we playing our Rikas? Good point. 1 Talmon, 4 Talmon, 2 for our Digimon. Kind of all. So after that, after the level 4 shenanigans, where we don't have a Kyubi at all. Weird. I'm being facetious, and we'll get there. 2-2-2 split on everything else that we've seen, just standard. Also here, a little bit of standard is 4 Scramble, 4 Trainings, but now we're actually upping the boosts. We're going 4 Yellow Memory Boost, going 4 Amber Memory Boost, and then 3 Noble Family Arts, and that's it. You guys think anything's missing? I definitely do. We are missing Digivolution plugin, and we are missing Rika. And I watched the stream, I watched the interview, and the guy said that he couldn't get Rikas in time. Like, he just didn't have them. So he played this version of the list. And in replacement, like, without the Rika, there's no point in playing the Kyuubi. Other than, like, maybe you kind of want your searchers to find it, right? Otherwise, I guess you could play a different Kyuubi, but they just decided to, like, let's go full protection. Or every stack is going to have some form of protection, and they saw a lot of value out of that. Like, go watch their games on stream. It was really interesting. Noble Family Arts and Amber Memory Boost. So our security was kind of gas constantly, right? Not just the Godamon and security, but just so many options that were going to let us extend our turn. Next turn trainings, boosts, scrambles, both boosts. Is there a reason for Amber? Is it just the only other yellow memory boost? It might just be the only other yellow memory boost. And just happens to also be purple, I guess. So yeah, and the Noble Family Arts for removal, because like, yeah, I mean, it does just get rid of 12k bodies, right? So like things like the things that scare you the most are like the medievals and things. The Renamon gets you another minus 2k, so you can minus 14k most things, and then obviously the Sakuya also is another minus 6, which is gross. So there's a lot to be said here. Also the Talmon Ice, obviously minus 4k. There's a lot. This is a very interesting card. I don't know if I'm convinced that it's better than Pause plugin. I can understand not playing Digivolution plugin, because without the Rico, literally we can't play it. It's just not possible. You need a green source, or you need a tamer to ignore the colors. Most of the Rendermon stuff doesn't let you ignore a color requirement. So interesting stuff there. But Pause plugin is yellow, so you can use it. So I wonder if, let's see, do you have to have a tamer for all these effects? One of your opponent's Digimon gets no. So that's my only like question mark. But minus 12k something for 5 is busted. So like there's definitely a world, like, again, watch the interview, watch the matches. I linked them in the description. Anyway, congrats Cheech, first place, amazing feat, a true champion. Congrats. Watch the stream. It's linked in Eggman. I got the Eggman link for you guys below in the video. And I think we're done. I think we talked a lot, 42 minutes. So I think it's a good place to end the video. Again, thank you guys. Become channel members. Like, share, subscribe. EggmanEvents.com for as much as we can do. And after that, check out the stream. Check out Eagles. Every Monday. I don't have the slides for this on this version of everything I do, but yeah. See you guys next time. Bye.